till now, this was a man who was the only person in AD when Obasanjo nearly killed AD. He stood, and before you know it, he took over Southwest. And from Southwest, he expanded. He brought Buhari, thinking that Buhari will perform. Well, there's nothing anybody can do about it. It is now even obvious that they don't want Bola Tinubu. And whether anybody likes it or not, Nigerians will decide and vote for stability. He's the only man who can stabilize the country. Look at where the zone that Obi came from. His people are threatening.
Sorry.
Okay. His people are threatening that they are not going to allow anybody to vote. So we already know the result of the election.
Pastor Stanley is still here. He's a member of the Labour Party. A lot has been said, but before you react to what he said, first off, let us look at some of the attributes that Nigerians should look out for in the next president.
Well, one of the attributes that Nigerians should look out for is, number one, a person who has empathy for the sufferings of the people. And Nigerians are quite aware that the APC presidential candidate lacks that capacity or that character. Nigerians should look out for somebody who has capacity, competence, and capability. One who is selfless in his nature. Now, the APC representative has said a lot, but I want to debunk certain things. Number one, P2B lives in Onitsha, and that's the only house he has. Number two, now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not form AD. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was brought in by the Afenifere, led by Pa Adebanjo, to become the governor of Lagos State because of his role in the Nadeko struggle. Now, secondly, thirdly,
when you say his role, because we're here for clarity and clarifications, what role are you regarding?
Now, it is said, history has it that he provided shelter for some of the comrades of the Nadeko struggle. Number three, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a part and parcel of the problem that Nigeria is suffering today. Because one of the things that a good leader should have is the ability to distinguish characters of people. And in 2015, Bola Ahmed Tinubu personally said that he gave us Buhari. And the first 4 years of that regime, we saw the trend of where Nigeria was going to. And in 2019, he reinforced the failure on Nigerians. And so he cannot come out and claim that he's not a part of what we are suffering. Now, thirdly, he's the acclaimed leader, national leader of the APC. If he had any idea or any solution to what Nigerians are going through, I think he should have pitched it, and we could have begun to see the changes that are necessary for Nigerians to go through. So one of the things that I don't like, or I know that politics in Nigeria is more of propaganda, and this is very wrong. People have the facts. They are out there. The statements of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man that single-handedly taught, in fact, he reinforced godfatherism in Nigeria, the democracy. Because today, the Lagos you are saying Bola Ahmed Tinubu built, that's false. Lagos was already a city in the 1800s. Access the internet, you can Google achievements of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Sorry, let me round up my talk. You would round up,
but let me quickly clarify. Whenever they refer to Bola Tinubu, he's always regarded as the founder of the
architect of modern Lagos.
That's what I'm saying. You see, life is about perspective and narrative, and Nigerians, a vast majority of us, do not do due diligence and kind of go and study and fact check. Now, I'm going to be pointing out some few things. You can Google, we have the internet. Type the achievements of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as Lagos State Governor. You will not see any meaningful project, any meaningful thing done outside the fact that he took the revenue of Lagos State widened the net, in his own words, of the tax net, and Lagos State revenue increased. But my question is this, because when the APC talk about that, now my question is this: how has that revenue affected the lives of Lagosians? Now today, the Lagos that they are claiming Masiwaju built has an unemployment rate of over 30%. The lives of the people are poorer. The lives of the people are more miserable. We still have slums. Can you show us one slum in Lagos State that the Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu led administration transformed?
Okay,
there's no.
We'll come back to you.
My
There
brother.
are a lot of misinformation here.
My brother, let me correct.
I am not.
Please,
Before you correct,
he asked me a
Mr.
question.
Babale,
He asked me a question
before you
that I
correct,
should point to a slum that Bola Ahmed Tinubu built in Lagos. Babish was a very serious problem in Lagos. If you get to Babish today, American embassy has built 35-story building on where they call Babish. Tinubu turned it from hazard to advantage.
Sorry, sir.
I will just give you that one example.
When was that project? Excuse me. When was that project built? Now the Babbage you are talking.
Let me give you.
I started going to Babbage in Lagos as a kid.
Let me give you.
As a child. The Babbage was already a tourist center. What is the hazard? Name one hazard that the Babbage had done in Lagos State.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's not muddle things up.
Honestly, because I need to correct his impression. He asked me question.
I am not a member of the All Progressives. I'm not a politician. I'm not a member of the Labour Party. Neither am I a member of the SDP. What we are trying to do here is clarify some of these issues. And I have a member of the SDP here who is privy to some of this information. Can you please help us do some clarity?
Thank you very much. I'm surprised we are joining issues over the capability of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. When you talk of who should be our preferred candidate, we have to put into consideration so many things. One, if you are talking of youthfulness, then you can be thinking of the likes of Adewale Adebayo. If you are thinking of how vibrant, how articulate, and who can perform, and who has the brain, you can equally look at Adewale Adebayo. But unfortunately, I don't put Obi of the Labour Party into any reckoning at all anyway, because I want to align with a party that has structures, a situation where you are the presidential candidate of a party who cannot boast of a single councillor throughout the 774 local governments across Nigeria. It's so unfortunate. Even with the record of INEC, where they have published the list of agents produced by each of the parties, I think the so-called Labour Party candidate had maybe 41,000.
That's false.
Where we are talking
false.
of over
close
to 400,000.
It's been updated.
I have not landed. When you talk of antecedents, if you look at Anambra, it's very obvious that Obi cannot boast with Anambra governance during his own tenure.
Of course,
it's so unfortunate that people are being unnecessarily sentimental. We don't have to hide our feelings. This is very clear. In terms of infrastructural development, you give it to Asiwaju. In terms of leading the Nadeco struggle, out of which all of them now are now benefiting, you give it to Asiwaju. What else do you want to say? I stumbled on a Google piece a few days ago, and I saw a youthful Asiwaju, queuing behind Abacha and forcing him to leave office. I saw it. So if we talk of who has the experience, who has what it takes to actually lead Nigeria out, is Asiwaju. Incidentally, I am not in the APC. I am in the SDP as a party. And the only unfortunate thing is that we are producing a presidential candidate who got the ticket from an extremely awful National Executive Council, and we don't want to produce a presidential candidate who eventually will be challenged, if no matter what he does. You will recollect that a few weeks ago I was in this studio promoting him, but we received directives from an headquarters, and that's why I said later in the day there is going to be an official pronouncement on who SDP will vote for. But for capability, from my own personal point of view, I give it to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, regardless of whatever people say. It is you can help somebody find a job, but you won't help him do it. He was the one that sold Buhari to us here. Buhari was shedding tears when he said, enough of you all this sobbing. I will help you out. And Asiwaju helped him out with all the structures he had across the nation. And Buhari he is now spending, rounding up his 8-year tenure. And the right thing for him will have been to say, okay, let's give it to them in the south. I happen to be the convener of SPAG, Southern Presidential Advocacy Group, before all these candidates surfaced. I was leading that group, saying that the next president should come from the south. That time we were even considering somebody from the east, until we now discover that East has now finally come up with a very awful and extremely pitiable candidate in Obi. I don't know. I don't want to start opening the Pandora box now. If I am opportune to do that, even nobody will stay in this studio to be representing Obi.
Before we go ahead,
okay. Now there are you see Nigerians need to hear this, and people of Ondo need to understand this. There are yardsticks in which you measure the output of governance. There are data, there are statistics. And I am putting a challenge to the APC and the SDP personality who have supported the Asiwaju. Give us data of what his achievements have been. I can begin here to roll out data of Mr. Peter Obi. Sorry, as a governor in Anambra State, he moved education, the same Lagos that they say is a city, is a whole. He moved education from 20-something to number 1.
Well,
he was number 1 in the MPGs. Sorry, in the MPGs that are used in measuring development millennial goals. He was number 1.
Okay,
he won the Brigade Prize. These were governors, and these things were also available in Asiwaju's time. So the question is, give us data. Let's stop doing propaganda.
Let's talk about some of the things that will top the priority of Nigerians. Now, given the state of the nation's affairs right now, you want to talk about security. Yeah. You want to talk about improving the economic profile of the country. Yeah. You want to talk about job opportunities, provision of job opportunities for the youths. Yeah. Now, do you think that your candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, has the capability to see through all of these key areas?
Yes, number one, when he came into office in 2006.
Let's start with security.
Anambra was a safe haven for kidnappers. Anambra, let's understand English.
You said safe.
Yes, Anambra was a safe haven for kidnappers.
Safe haven, you said?
Yes, okay. Safe haven. When he came in, he became a safe haven.
Okay.
That was where Evans the kidnapper was, who later ran to Lagos and was thriving until he was caught. Evans the kidnapper, you can check it, said it was Peter Obi's government that drove him from Anambra State. Anambra became a safe place. The then IG of police rated Anambra as one of the safest states in the last 5 years. Now, Peter Obi's government empowered young graduates with ₦1 million. Every first-class graduate in Anambra, all throughout his tenure. He put senior citizens on salary. He came into office, met debt, backlogs of salaries. He paid salaries, paid contractors.
When you said he paid salaries, why then was there about 9 months long strike?
No, that's what I said. I said when he came into office, he inherited that problem. He inherited it. You can fact check it, and he solved the problem. He paid the salaries, and at the end of the day, he left Anambra State richer than he met it.
Please.
Okay, Mr. Abale,
please, we will not sit down here. You'll be using Google. You will always say fast share, just like Peter Obi.
But that's the truth.
Please, hold on. We are not here to shout. Don't use it here. Please, your voice is not louder than my own. Let's let's keep
Because are important.
Please.
Make your voice loud. The mic is here to compliment
because I
your
don't have
voice.
an earphone
Please,
anyway.
on security, after Peter Obi, this is the second governor now taking over. We all listened to the interview of the governor that took over from Peter Obi, that Peter Obi kept criminals in Anambra State. That was when he came, that he chased them out of Anambra State, and that Peter Obi is greedy when it comes to money, because he was asking him to pay him 7 billion that he spent to put him as governor. You are talking of godfatherism. Have you heard anybody in Lagos complaining that Bola Tinubu said he should come and pay money? But Peter Obi, excuse me, please. Let me give it to you.
No,
please, don't interrupt me. Peter Obi,
these statements
is in the
that are not fact founded.
Pastor Stanley, you would have your time.
Google it, you will see.
You would have your
Please.
time.
About propaganda.
Excuse me, please. Now, Peter Obi that was why is it Obiano and Peter Obi fell apart because of that 7 billion. When this governor came in, the one that is there now, he has said so many things. That who is Peter Obi? That what he left in Anambra State was big problem that he's still solving up to today. You were talking of him, chasing criminals from Anambra State. He established Akusu's that we read in the social media.
SAS is a federal outfit. Please, let's
empowered them.
Right,
He empowered them, and they mention his name. They mention his name.
Security.
Excuse me, please. Don't disrupt me.
No,
You would have your time, please. Hold on, Mr.
They
Stanley.
mention his name as the person that encouraged the officers then that are harvesting organ and selling. Everything is on the internet. Go and check. You people are around. You want to run government on the internet? Go and Google check it. Now, let me leave that one. On security, when Bola Tinubu came to Lagos, all of us knew that life was short, brutish, and unbearable. Bola Tinubu came to Lagos, stabilized it, established so many organizations that are still living there today. We have LASMA. They are for security. That time, go slow in Lagos. You can never. In fact, is the worst country. Worst state that you can live in.
You were trying to say that there was no structure.
There was no structure. Bola Tinubu came and established all these things. But what we have today, when you were talking, you said Obi was living in Onitsha. Please, they say you are a pastor. Don't lie here. Obi live in VGC. I will take you to his house now. Don't tell me what we know. He lives in VGC. He just left Lagos to Anambra about 2 days ago. I tell you, if he lives in Anambra for too long, IPOB will kill him. They just killed a senator yesterday, a senatorial candidate of your party in Enugu. And in fact, if Obi becomes the president of Nigeria, he's becoming an acting president. For example, you say you are a PR of Labour Party in Ondo State. You are an Igbo man. Does that mean there's not that person in Ondo State? Excuse me, please.
Let us
No. Let us look at it.
That's a tribal card.
It's tribal.
We have to do
Excuse me. Are you saying there's nobody in Ondo State?
All right, we are still on the program, and it's still Politics 2023. We want to hear from Nigerians right now what they think the electorate should look out for on Saturday before choosing who becomes Nigeria's next president. 0816-251-9991 number to call. Let's see if we have someone there. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You're on. Hello. Good morning.
Let's go ahead.
Okay, we can't hear you. Probably you'd have to call us again.
Yeah.
Mr.
I've not made my point.
I'll come back to you. I need you to calm down. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name, please?
Lafrika from Ajagua.
Okay, good to have you.
I will thank SDP and the APC there. He asked you question. Instead of you to answer him gently, want to turn to fight.
Which fight?
Well, you are going to tribalism. Ask question, answer him. That's why they brought you. Don't take it to fight. I beg, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That's noted.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Agbola.
Yes.
Going forward, we have 4 leading candidates now of the NNPP, of the APC, of the PDP, and of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
What do you think are the chances of these candidates put together and aggregate issues that we've talked about so far?
Thank you very much. First, let me react to the last statement that SDP as a party has endorsed a particular candidate. I told you that later in the day that one will come up. Secondly, on the issue of security, I don't know what should bring about any argument there, because even the Peter Obi man here has said that Anambra State is the haven of kidnappers. How else do you want it today? When you say it's a haven of the kidnappers, he's saying that is the base, that is the home of kidnappers. So why are we now slugging it out on whether their candidate will be able to address the issue of security or not? But talking about the categorization of or you know, positioning of all these candidates we are talking about. Number one, you should have added SDP's presidential candidate, Adewale Adebayo. At any rate, we have names for them. The SDP candidate, Adewale Adebayo, I always refer to him as a future president because he had the capacity, the capability, and everything. But unfortunately, next Saturday's election is not for him, and I want to be quoted at all times. Are you talking of Rabiu Kunkoso? He's not there. I mean, forget about it, because even in Kano, I want to see him defeating Asiwaju there. And when you talk
are you saying that in spite of his popularity of
what type of popularity? Politics is not about popularity alone. It's about what is on ground, and it's about what you can. It's like saying that any other person will win Kaduna State from Asiwaju when El Rufai is there. So don't talk about that. The most important thing is for us to be able to categorize them. For Obi is a WhatsApp president any day, anytime. I've never had a situation.
The reason I'm asking this question, the reason we made the choice of
the chances. What I'm now saying
is because this next election will be a make or mar for Nigeria.
Yes, I know it will
and be. Beyond sentiments of religion and ethnic belongation, we have to set the issue straight
when we talk
so we can choose the next president.
See, I have this message for Nigerians. when we talk of who will be able to steer Nigeria out of the woods, I will give it to Asiwaju. I am not talking as a party man now. I am saying it as a man who belongs to so many organizations that have been rooting for the enthronement of a southern
apart from
president.
All these attributes that we have said,
yes.
I'll come to you, Mr. Bale,
yes.
With Pastor Stanley.
Yes.
We've talked about a lot of things. Should be selfless, should be accountable, should have integrity. All of these things we've said so far. Yeah. What about the place of will, political will? Because for any president to be able to steer the affairs of this nation to a good logic, so to speak, or to safe haven, that person must have the needed political will and grit to be able to, do that. Do you think your party candidate has this?
Now, let me take us down memory lane quickly. When Peter Obi became governor of Anambra State, he didn't have any councillor that belonged to his party, no House of Assembly member, no support. He was just the governor. In the name of Labour Party. He was able to move the state from where it was to where it is. I can say it over and over again.
Let's be clear. He was not in the Labour Party at that time.
No, he was not. He was in the ABGA.
He was a product of
now, and ABGA was just a new. No, it was PDP. Let's get our facts straight. It was PDP. PDP owned Anambra with the Uba brothers. Now he came and he was able to move the state. He exhibited leadership. And listen to me, one of the things I tell people about P2B and why I am supporting him is consistency in personality. Now we have seen we have seen the APC being dead spirit For example, when they brought the Muslim ticket, in order to make it look as if it was a general something, they went to hire bishops to make it look as if they had approval.
Correct.
It's true. They hired
Part
bishops.
of your propaganda.
I'm
That's
a
not correct.
pastor. I know what it takes to be a bishop in Nigeria.
Do you have school for
And those
bishop?
people were no bishops.
Do you have school for bishop? My brother, leave that
Excuse me,
issue.
sir. The bishops in Nigeria have a structure.
We have less than 2
Right now, they are printing fake naira notes to buy votes.
What would be your position, Mr. Male?
Well, my party short is that APC will win this election. The facts are there. The statistics is very clear. The stronghold of APC is southwest, northwest. In northeast, it's going to be 50-50. The stronghold of PDP has been chopped off between Obi and Atiku. Southeast, there will be very low turnout, which is the base of Labour Party, because as at this morning, these boys are marching on the street and saying nobody should vote. They beheaded the local government chairman and killed a candidate of Labour Party yesterday.
Yeah.
Then when you come to South
South, be celebrating.
we are not. We are
Is that
talking
something
about
we should be
statistics.
celebrating?
In his own
We are talking about
Let's go
statistics.
ahead.
Now, when we talk about of South, Wike has wicked them in River State, and we have a deputy senior president in the ballot, James Ibori in Delta, is with APC. So I don't know how they are going to do it. The central, where I give it to Labour Party, maybe because of Benue and Abuja, because now we are the people occupying Abuja, but I'm in my village now. Every Yoruba man, every Hausa has gone to their various places, but Igbo people are in Abuja. They will vote for Labour Party there. Labour Party will win, but the vote will not count because they don't have the spread. They cannot even make 25%. So as it is today, this election is gone.
Okay, quickly,
for APC.
in 10 seconds, Mr. Agbola.
Yeah, the Saturday election will be won, no doubt about that, by
The best man.
The best person, and that best man is no other person than Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But personally, that is the truth, and that is what is on ground. I don't deceive myself, and I am sure for the future of SDP, since SDP has been bastardized by the so-called Agulo Gabams, the issue now is SDP eventually will go into an alliance to get it properly stabilized in preparation for 2024 governorship election in Ondo State.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being on the show this morning. Pastor Stanley Okonkere, it's good to have you. And Mr. Tolu Babale, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. Mr. Agbola, it's nice to have you as well. Saturday is almost here, less than 48 hours. Well, fingers crossed, Nigerians will be at the polls, and definitely one man will emerge winner. Until then, stay safe, guys. With PVC, your vote is your power. Do not sell it. My name is Olabisi Olani Oluwasegun. Good morning.